In this video, I want to show you how to cut your pants if it's too long. So you will put it on, actually have it on you, okay? Then you put it ready at your waist and see, okay, it's too long and I want it to be shorter. You will have your pants on already, and then you say that, okay, I want it to be this short here. So what you do is you turn it and then you put a safety pins here. The safety pin will let you know that this is the length you want to end up with. Okay, so now you're gonna take your pants off and then go to your cutting table, and then I'll show you how to actually cut it. So now you have the pants on the table. You make sure that both legs are together, they're matching, and then you hold like that and put a crease in here. Once you put your crease in, you remove your safety pin and you see the here's my crease. Okay, so if you want, you can put a regular pin, a push pin here, and that let you know this is your normal length that you want. But you're not gonna cut it here unless you want a edgy finish that you're not gonna hem it. If you're not gonna hem it, then you cut it exactly at the length because you want a fray like this. You want a finish like that. You don't want it to have a hem. But now we do want this to have a hem. So what we're going to do is we're going to take my ruler. This is a ruler and this is my marker. Then you mark it. Okay, so once you mark it, then you cut. But because this is a heavy fabric, I'm not going to cut it both together. I'm gonna cut one by one. Okay, actually I'm only gonna cut once because I'm trying to teach it to you. So what you do is you hold your crease like this, okay, and then you turn under, you turn both under, and now you're gonna make more crease all the way around. Especially if you don't have measuring tapes and pens, all of that, you just keep giving the creases because you can't go wrong with the crease either. You see, so you're gonna make sure they're all the same and you give your crease, and then now you're gonna turn it again. And some people want to go ahead and pin it. If you want to pin it, you can do so. If you want to pin it all the way around so you don't mess up with your measurements that you have, you just pin it all the way around before you sew it. But for some people, you know, it's easy for them. They don't need to pin it. They just start sewing. So pin, but I'm not gonna continue the pin because I know what I'm doing. But if you want to continue the pin to make sure that you got it, and it's the same quantity from the outside and the inside, so it's very easy because you're gonna do the same quantity. So you keep pinning. You put a couple more pins to make sure that this is all the way around. Sometimes it could be tricky with these pins. Some of them don't go to certain fabric. And you're gonna have a little issue here when you get here because it's a little bulky. Then you're gonna stop and finish this by hand with a regular needle. So I'm gonna start And let's go. We're gonna start our hemming right there. Start your stitch here, and we're gonna start. Always do your back stitch, okay? But what we're gonna do, because this is so bulky, you're going to guide it. You see, you guide it. You're not gonna continue really fast. You're gonna guide it by hand, otherwise you're gonna break the needle, okay? And as you go doing that, you can be removing your pens. And we're gonna need pen cushion, but in this case I'm putting it back in this little tray here. You see, so you learn your stitch already. So now what we're gonna do is just keep you stitch your hem your pens. Again, I'm using the different color threads so you can see the stitch. Okay, so that's why I'm using different color thread. Now I'm running into a little issue here because I see this is broken out. I stop and put it back in, and then continue. And you're gonna guide the fabric. You keep guiding it. If you have to lift the foot, you do that and keep guiding it, because you don't want to break the needle. If you break the needle, you got to replace it. And if you're busy, you're in a hurry, you don't want to have to replace a needle ever, because it's time consuming. So but if you have to, then you have to. So I'm removing all my pins as I go along, and coming to the end of the hem, and I'm removing my last pen, put it back in the tray, and I'm meeting the stitch meets each other, and here there go you backtrack again, and then there go your hem. You see, nice and neat. And then you cut the thread really close to the so you don't have so you don't have thread hanging anywhere. If you see any thread, you just continue to cut until you have no thread at all. I see this is going under the stitch, so I'm gonna pull and then I'm gonna cut it. And just keep looking for any thread that you can cut. And then here's just your stitch. Again, I'm using construct thread so you can see. But when you actually doing something like that, make sure you have a thread that almost matches the color. Or if you have to use white thread for something like that, let's say if I didn't have any thread at all and I have white, I would use white thread on that. So always make sure, if you're gonna do any alterations at home, make sure you have black thread and white thread, because certain things you can use with black thread, certain things can be with white. This, if I only have white thread, I could have done it with a white thread.